Hey, Andre Schulz, Chessbook.
Oh yes, hey, yes everyone.
Nice to finally meet you. I'm from Chess Space.
Hey,
yeah. See your pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I read the keyboards and stuff. Yeah.
And, you sent us also. We have problems to.
We do chess 960.
Yeah. This is solvable, but they don't.
Magnus bei dir und jetzt hier und Thomas hier. Dann kommt Magnus rein. Genau, perfekt. Und dann hole ich dich als Erster auf die Bühne, oder? Achso, ja, genau. Du platzierst es dann, ne? Wir können so jetzt anfangen. Hast du getestet? Ist es noch nicht scharf? Ist noch nicht scharf. Wenn man das nicht schafft.
Ja, bitte alle einmal Platz nehmen. Magnus ist jetzt nämlich auch da. Ist noch nicht so kräftig. Soll das kräftiger sein? Warmest welcome to everybody. I'm Sebastian Sieblich, the tournament director, and it's my pleasure to open the first Grand Slam. We have 25 this year already. So it's my pleasure to welcome you, everybody, and we have today the press conference is open for everybody. We have also a live stream there. We get also some requests from there. So first of all, I want to for the stage Jan-Henrik Büttner, the founder of Freestyle Chess. Take a seat. And then to the next, the world best chess players is Magnus Carlsen. And our new CEO is Thomas Haas. She is for all the commercial terms and for marketing and fundraising. He's responsible. So. Okay, so we will start. I think the beginning make Jan-Henrik because he knows everything at his best.
I know everything. I know, especially I know that I don't know anything. So I know more than the people that don't even know that they don't know anything. So welcome. I'm very happy. I'm very proud. I'm extremely proud, I must say, of all of this. And I would like to start with thanking our production team. Most of you have been here yesterday as well. You saw there are still a lot of boxes, everything flying around. Everything is absolutely 100% perfect, and that is mainly due to this man, Thorsten Hock, who come on stage, who happens to be also my father-in-law. But he's, of course, a professional, as you all know. And yeah, he's here with his team. He has done, of course, behind him there are like, how many people are in your team?
We're working with 100 people.
100 people. 100 people are doing this all together. And so, yeah, thank you very much, Thorsten, for getting this on here. And then the second person, I would like to welcome Natalie Fischernagel, who is basically our host, basically. Of course, you know, it's my resort, but can you come on stage so just they can see you? So because she's a hotel director. And Natalie is making everything possible, which has not things to not to with chess. So basically, that's her job. Thank you very much, Natalie, for welcoming everybody and making. She's taking care of all of the details. If whatever thing, you can always ask her. Yes.
Alpacas, elephants, everything. Whatever it is, I'm here.
Perfect. Thank you, Natalie. So yeah, and. Then, yeah, we would like to basically start with just a little explanation of what we are doing. At the end of this, we're going to show our season trailer, where everything that we are saying here right now is basically summarized again, so you can write it down again. Or, but the point is that we have spent the last year, we have met here all together. Of course, last year you see some changes. We have been much more professional this year than last year. I think it was on a great professional level already, but we added the whole streamer community. So we are welcoming not only you know, new people here and friends, but also we are welcoming all the top streamers of the world. You will realize, I don't know if you know it, but basically we have managed it that everybody and everyone who is anything in the chess world is here now, you know, starting from the top players to the top streamers. To the players, we have had a regulation which basically came to the fact that we are 7 out of the 10 players are the same like last year. So we only have 3 new players. And last year we had 8 players. So we expanded the tournament to 10 players because it started basically, it's a players tournament. People who have been at the technical meeting yesterday, you see we have a lot of interaction. The players, we did voting. It's a tournament by the players, for the players. And we are just helping them to get it perfectly organized so they can just focus on the chess and on their competition. And we are building all the surroundings. So for us, it doesn't matter if the rules are this or that way, as long as majority of the players are in there. So the players, for example, last time said it was kind of boring that they played the round robin just for placement. So we made it really exciting because we have the 10 greatest chess players of our time right now here. And 2 of these we will not see anymore playing on Sunday, right? So it's very interesting to see. I mean, I can't even think who are the 2 players who will be 9th and 10th after tomorrow's second day of the round robin. So that's going to be exciting. And we're going to make it even more exciting as of the next event. Because as you can see in our rules and regulations that we have already published online, they will be valid, the new ones, as of February 15 after this tournament. We're going to have 12 players. And so in Paris, we're going to have 12 players, and we're going to have the tournaments continuing also. So we're going to have 12 players. So with that, basically, I think the rest is already said. I'm going to hand over again to Sebastian to see what else do you want people to know, and then you can start asking the questions because we have told enough. I think it's about you wanting to ask questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jan-Henrik. For sure, now it's open for the audience. For all the chess questions, you can just ask me for the technical part. And but maybe you have some other questions for Magnus, and so for the player part, and also for Thomas and for Jan-Henrik. So who wants to make the beginning?
Okay, thank you very much. Was a very nice meeting. No question?
Okay, there's André Schulz from ChessBase.
There was a small discussion with this World Chess Federation FIDE. Maybe you can just explain how the situation is.
Yeah, so you can all sit down and relax, and I'm going to talk for 2 hours. No. Today, we are talking about our tournament, freestyle chess, all the great stuff. I think about FIDE and the whole stuff, enough has been said over the last days. You can watch it, rewatch it online, and you can also ask questions in different, but that's not the venue today. We would like to concentrate on the future, on our perfect tournament, and that has nothing to do with the FIDE. Thank you.
No, we can definitely speak about the players. We have Magnus here as the world best player, but we have for sure also the world champion here, and we have the best players with Hikaru, number 2 of the world, and Fabiano Caruana. And we have also a new system with qualification tournaments, so this is open for everybody. There will be also something new, and very soon we will announce. There will be also possibility for every player of the whole world to join the party here and to be part of this. So if you have any questions for the tournament, and maybe to Magnus directly just about the tournament here, would be great. Okay, Andre again.
One question to Magnus. Is there any possibility to make a preparation on this chess 960, different positions? Any chance for preparation?
I think as these tournaments go on, we will get more and more information that you can prepare from. I spent a lot of time last year, played some training games, but mostly I was studying different examples that my coach Peter came up with. Most of that was based on engine games though, and it felt to me that a lot of it was not so easy to translate to playing against humans. So I felt in the tournament that was probably overthinking quite a bit. I think as these tournaments go along, we will have more and more ideas of how top players play, how their preferences in normal chess sort of translate into freestyle. But for now, we don't have that much to work with. It's mostly, the games were played last year and engine games. So I've definitely prepared a bit based on that, but it's now mostly, some statistics rather than some more trends we can see. But it is certainly going to be very interesting to see. What I felt in the tournament last year was that there was a very steep learning curve, both for myself and I think also from some other players. So I think that will be interesting to see as well. That how much we actually learn just in the course of these rapid games and then 6 classical games afterwards.
And that's a good point of introducing. Is Niklas Huschenbett here? Well, we are. I don't know. It should be published today. I don't know. We have prepared a online preparation course for freestyle. So there's going to be, you can purchase it online. I don't know what the price is that we have the price point, but in terms of he analyzes a lot of the tournament games of last year, and so it's basically also explaining what you have to think of. So in terms of preparation, we have tried to look how can you prepare for these games, and no one better than Niklas, who basically has responsibility for starting this whole madness here. Anyway, but so you can look it up on our freestylechess.com website. There's going to be a course about freestyle chess learning. Next question.
I have a question. So, Grand Slam Freestyle Chess Tour, do you have already a vision or a picture where you want to be or are going to be in 3 or 5 years? I guess you can hear me. So, do you have already a vision where you're going to be in 3 years with your Grand Slam Freestyle Chess Tour? You said once you wanted to create something like the ATP or the PGA Tour, which is a very great and fantastic vision to have. Do you already see this coming and growing that fast in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I think this is similar, like Magnus said, with the steep learning curve about the chess variant. We also have a steep learning curve about this business. We have started the business like a venture capital startup, which I had a lot of experience, of course, in my past. So we raised the funds in order to be independent, and so we can do whatever we think is right and not what sponsors think is right. And so now we are pre-financing the first few tournaments, mainly on our venture capital money. And we are in negotiations with sponsors, especially for like second half of this year and then starting in next year, to really take over a lot of the cost. We are also talking to cities about hosting fees because some of you have seen what we have done in Singapore. We showcased the city as much that we now got a lot of requests from cities around the world who are paying us, wanting to pay us like 7-digit figures for hosting a tournament in their country, in their city. So that's kind of, so we are just trying to see the revenue lines of this. So what I can basically say is I know how the Grand Slam tour is going to shape up in this year and in next year. What's going to be in 3 or 5 years? Of course, nobody knows. The only thing in the business plan, you know, that it's not going to be those numbers that you write down. You just don't know whether they are higher or lower. But the point is that for this year, we're going to have, or basically for every year, looking at 26 because you're looking into the future. So we always want to open the season in Weissenhaus here in our home base in February. And we're going to close the season in South Africa in December, where we're going to announce the winner, whatever you might call him. That's a discussion for another day. But in terms of, we are having a winner at the end of the year, and so we have these 2 tournaments that are on our turfs, and in the middle we're going to have a few, maybe two Grand Slam, maybe 3, maybe 4 Grand Slams, and maybe 1 or 2 what we call open tournaments over the board, which you also see in our new regulations, where we have a lot of other players be attracted to this and participate. Because our goal is that we're going to have a mixed long-term of 50% set players out of the club and 50% that are going through qualifications, so that we have always a good mix. We have a base of like 6, 7 players who are basically always there, and then 5, 6 players who are revolving. And we are adapting the system of the Formula One. So for this tournament now, the winner, of course, will get $200,000, which is, of course, amazing. Second one would get $140,000, third one $100,000. But in addition, the players, the top 10 players here, all players, as of next tournament, only the top 10 from the 12 will get Grand Slam points. And so we're going to have, we adapted from the Formula One, so the winner will get 25 points, second get 18, third gets 15, and the 10th gets 1 point. And then we're going to have 5 tournaments this year where you can get points. And for the Grand Slam final in South Africa, the top 12 point collectors, so to speak, qualify for that tournament. And then we're going to have that tournament where we're going to have double points. So the winner will get 50 points and the 10th gets to 2 points. And the player with the most points over the season is going to be the winner and the champion and whatever. So that's kind of our immediate goal to kind of, on one hand, that's the players' side, the venue side, where we're going to go. We're going to go, of course, to cities who are giving us the most money. So we don't know exactly where the locations are going to be. And in terms of revenue, we're going to see that we are trying to be at break even, full break even after the end of 2026. And in terms of operations, it's already has been communicated that I would basically, of course, continue to be strong involved and be there. But I'm gonna within this year, I'm gonna move over to the chairman position, which I still already have. But in terms of, in addition, just had the CEO position, so the operating position I will hand over to this gentleman, and this is why he maybe can talk a little bit more about what's happening in the future.
Yeah, happy to. I mean, I think to add, one huge goal we have obviously is to make chess more accessible and to bring new people into chess that are currently not watching. And I think a really big part of that is obviously having content creators and having streamers on board. I mean, Levi is here, Andrea and Alexandra Botes are here, ChessBase India is here, Anna Kramlin is here, and we're really excited about that because I think all of these guys have done an incredible job in getting new people interested in chess and telling stories about the games itself, but also around the games. And so that's a big part. We also want to make sure that we involve athletes from other disciplines. There's a lot of basketball players, football players, actors, businessmen that are chess fans, and we hope to get them involved in some way, either organizing a tournament or inviting them to the tournaments, and really get the medialization of chess to the next level. And I think if you look at, Jan always talks about Formula One. If you look at Formula One, there's a few people that watch the live broadcast and that know about engines and DRS and all of that. And there's a lot of people that are more casual viewers that are interested in the storylines, the personalities. And we want to do the same in chess and really get more and more people interested, and then have the right mechanisms also to get them to play through the course, through online events we're organizing, and that's a big part of the vision, I would say.
And I can add to that because we are experimenting, of course, and try to get the best out of it. This is also, we have all these streamers, we have the booths there. We have also different commentator channels. We are trying out this one as well. So we're going to have a consumer-oriented channel where chess talk is forbidden. And then we have a professional talk where they can talk about all the squares and whatever. And so the professional talk is going to be hosted by Judith Polgar, of course, the best female chess player of all time. She's here, and she is going to do the commentary together with Peter Liko and Niklas Huschenberg. So the same team like last time, except Tanya Sachdev, because she moved over to the consumer time, and then Thomas can talk about the consumer channel, how we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a big one. So in the consumer or like community channel, as we call it, the idea is really to make it accessible for people that are not grandmaster level chess players. So if you look at, I think chess.com has almost 200 million users, and the majority of them are rated under 1,000, under 1,400. And we want to make a product, a broadcast product that is understandable for that part of the chess-interested population. And so we have a host, James Patterson, who has been the host of League of Legends, the esports, for 10 years. And he's a decent chess player, but obviously far away from grandmaster level. And he's going to be the host, and we're going to make sure that it's more accessible in terms of language, that we explain things more, that it's a show that's just more entertaining and casual. So we'll have an open door policy where everybody can come in. I'm sure Jan will come by, and then Alexandra Botes can come by, and Levi will be there a lot, and just make it a really entertaining and fun show that obviously is about the chess, but is about making chess more accessible to people.
Gentlemen, if I can jump in, you were asked a question about the goal of freestyle from 3 to 5 years. If I could just get, in the interest of time, a couple sentences from each of you. What is the short-term goal for this event? Do you have any KPIs you can share, or just personal goals that you have for this particular tournament? Because it's much bigger than the one last year, and it's also the first of 5.
I mean, I would say for me, the biggest goal, obviously, making sure that we have a tournament that shows some great chess and makes the players happy. That's number one, and that's the base for everything. And then from more a business perspective, I would say getting as many eyeballs as possible on this, right? It's like we know that chess can be incredibly exciting, and we want to make sure that as many people as possible see this, right? And that means our own channels, right? It's like our Twitch channel, our YouTube channels, and we have a great social media team, we have a great broadcast team, but then also partner channels, right? It's like chess.com is showing us stuff, Take is showing us stuff. We have a bunch of content creators here that are all creating incredible content for their audiences. And so we just want to make sure that as many people as possible see this and learn about freestyle and get excited about what we're doing.
To me, more specific to your question, Levi. So we have, because we have such a professional team, like with Thorsten and everybody, we had collected all of the data of the last tournament, and our internal goal is to double that. You know, whatever that is, we're not going to reveal all the numbers, but our internal goal is to set the milestone that we're going to double the views and everything. Because you are, of course, right. We are a venture capital funded company, and we have raised now almost $20 million up to this point, and the investors who are putting in the money, they don't want to, have a 5% return. They want to have a 50x on their investment. So in terms of, we have to make sure that we're going to have a steep reach curve, and that's what. So our internal goal is basically doubling whatever we had last time, and then from there going on.
Magnus, what's the goal?
I want to win the tournament.
Fantastic.
No. I mean, honestly, I want to win every tournament that I play, but for me, this is a little bit deeper because this is the chess that I really, really, really want to play. I love the classical format, and I think this is the best way to play it. And I'm really, just fundamentally grateful to be here, to be able to play in this format. So I'm very, very happy that we're making it happen. I think the players had a great time last year, and I hope they will so this year. And we just very much believe that we have something very, very exciting to show people. So we just want to get it out there. So those are my goals, and of course, everything feels a little bit better when you play well.
Thank you.
It's basically venture capital funds and interested parties. We are not sharing information about who exactly is owning what. I mean, the most money, the majority of the money came from the company Left Lane. It's a venture capital fund. You can Google it. It's a New York-based venture capital fund, and it's especially interesting to them and for them because they, of course, have other big investments like $2.5 billion to invest. You can't just do it in leagues or whatever. But as one of their target is building new leagues. So before they invested in freestyle chess. They had invested also in the Kings League, which you might be familiar with. So they co-founded this also with Gérard Piqué, the very well-known soccer player, the best Spanish soccer player. He, on this instant, is also an investor with us right now. So we have a lot of individual investors who are investing like six-digit numbers, and one of them is here, my friend Chris. He's also an investor, so you can ask him what he expects of this. So Chris Adam is also one of our investors, and so we have a lot of individuals, who believe in this and who are like in the six-digit. Then we have these venture funds in the seven-digit. Some other funds like what's this Moshe called the fund? What's it called? Shrug Capital. So there are some names that might, and of course Discovery Ventures is a big one because they are between Germany and South Africa, and the fund manager Jan Depen, the top guy, he will also come. So Harley Miller, the fund manager from Left Lane, the top guy, they all come here. So the investors, a lot of the investors come here to see what's going on, especially in this event. So they're going to join us more at the end. So like as of the 12th, we're going to have some investor VIPs and also some additional potential investors, because we still get a lot of interest from firms to invest. And then just last but not least, he will not come, but he's extremely excited also because Left Lane has done these other sports leagues, like they did League One volleyball in women's volleyball. They did now Snow League with Shaun White, snowboarding league in the US. And so along that, they have one partner, Jason Miller. He's also coming here. He's very much connected in the sports scene, and he had connected us with Derrick Rose, one of the best basketball players of all time. And he also has a strong investment here. We're actually doing a lot of stuff with him as well. He started an idea called Chestival. We took it over. We're going to have an event in July in Las Vegas with him and the basketball guys and with Magnus. It's going to be very exciting. And if you just look at Derrick Rose's Instagram, whatever, he's praising it. He loves it. He's so happy he can't make it, unfortunately, here, but maybe he'll come to Paris for our next event. But he's very much heart and soul in here, and he's so happy. And we are also very happy because he's just sharing all of our information with his huge fan base. And so that's also one that we have as investors, like the institutional venture capital funds and the private individuals, and all of this mixed together gives us a very nice thing. And so the next ones we are talking right now to, that are strategic investors coming in that have a strategic interest. And of course, I can't reveal the names right now, but there are some very interesting brand names associated with investing here.
What about big companies? I mean, chess would be...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Strategic investors, big companies with big names that are interested. Usually they come in a little bit later. Here, they might even come in the next few months. Yeah.
You mentioned that some cities are interested in
Yes.
money. So this city,
Well, I can't reveal that as well because that's also confidential information. But I can tell you that we have been approached out of the Asian market by 3 cities, the US market by 1 city, and I think the European market by 1 city. So this is basically where they basically say, okay, what can we do? And we now have a full presentation, like Thomas has a full presentation of talking to the cities and trying to get that. We even have a talk with 1 city. They want to have like a 5-year deal with an 8-figure number, and so it's gonna be big. Yeah. It's like Formula One, the same thing. They go around the world, and that attracts a lot of people there as well. So when you look at different cities, they have different goals. For example, the 1 city that I'm thinking about right now, they have 2 goals. One is to bring tourists to the city, so that if they have Magnus and show all the names to say, okay, they come to the city, then they have tourists coming. Then we have to find out a different format, maybe because I said we always have like WEISSENHAUS here in South Africa. It's going to be more like the family oriented. And then we're going to have these big events where we have a lot of spectators, something. We have always crazy ideas. We even think maybe we do something like not chess boxing, because we don't want to have Magnus boxing, but maybe chess and boxing, something like that. Maybe we do something like combination, where we basically attract like a lot of people who want to see the boxing thing. Maybe we get some celebrities, whatever. So we're trying to make the best mix out of it. We have this hand in hand with the celebrities. We are thinking about continuing the GOAT challenge, in terms of that we're gonna, when we have celebrities, really high known celebrities or executives to do, how many moves do we last against Magnus Carlsen, as a GOAT challenge in terms of that. So keeping a score, so somebody can say, okay, I'm right now thinking about creating a Freestyle Chess Academy for like non-profit, but also to expand into other countries where chess has not been so big. Like, for example, we see that freestyle chess is a perfect opportunity for example, the African continent to skip all the learning and all the learning we have, but just jumping to the forefront. So we might see even new grandmasters. Because we're also going to develop an own ELO system for freestyle chess. So there's going to be a ranking. So people who have no classical ELO system, they can move up in that ranking. So all of this together. Then in addition, we are thinking about to have WEISSENHAUS, the White House Forum, to have a forum where we do some talks about chess and sports and so on. So we have all these ideas that are basically from ourselves, but also brought to us by external partners. And that's so. And one big part is basically which city are we going to go to, and then we're going to do everything to showcase the city as best as possible. Because not only that they want to have the spectators, But in addition, they also want to have something where they can have a future for their kids. Because a big problem of these cities is, education-wise, how to get the kids away from their smartphone, to just do whatever, TikTok and so on. They can do it, but they do it too much. And chess, they see it's a great opportunity for them to bring them out of that. So that's one additional thing where the cities are interested in working with us. Did I forget anything? Okay, cool. Okay, so specific New York is he's planning it.
I mean, New York, we're planning a bit bigger than here probably in terms of, being able to invite VIP guests, because obviously New York is great because a lot of them are already there. But generally keep it quite small and intimate, because I think the cool thing here, and you all see it, is that it's quite intimate, everybody's close to the players, everybody can get a piece of the action. And we think this is the core of what we do with freestyle. And then if, in some cities, the conversations we have for them, it's important to have a bigger spectator event, and then we can definitely make that possible. So it's a case by case, but in New York it will be still a bit smaller. It's still in planning. Like we are discussing with a few parties for like later this year, but it's still in planning, so we can't reveal that yet.
Excuse for Magnus, but the games will still very soon started, so he needs some rest. And our stream is live in the whole world, the stream, so we have some requests from outside, some questions, and our press officer, Till, will mention the question.
Yes, thank you. We do indeed have some questions. Unfortunately, Magnus is gone now because most of the questions were, of course, directed at him. But we have a very, very interesting question from Brazil, from Regis Jr., who wants to know whether there are any plans to license national or regional tournaments in freestyle in the future.
No, we would like to stay in control. So we're not going to license the freestyle brand somewhere. We're going to see that we are doing, as I mentioned, we're doing open over-the-board tournaments where we are basically participating, and it's a different kind of format than the Grand Slam, which we are holding very close in terms of the brand. So we're not licensing any kind of Grand Slam. So the deal, like for a city, for example, how it works, for example, we get a lot of money from the city, but we have to show that we are investing it in that Grand Slam in the city. So we can't just take the money and do something else, but we have to invest it in there. But we definitely stay in control. Or do you have other ideas?
No, I mean, I don't think it's licensing, right? Because I agree with Jan, we want to stay in control of the experience and the brand, and the way to collaborate is, I think, through the host fee concept. And then basically the deal is usually the city pays a host fee, and in return gets the local commercial rights. So that means sponsoring, media rights, and some tickets. But it's really important for us to stay in control of the experience.
We have one more question which was directed at Jan, at Magnus, but maybe Jan or Thomas, you want to answer it. In the long run, will freestyle chess be bigger than classical chess, both in the professional world and also among amateurs?
I don't know. And also, I think, it's always like a crystal ball, we are not measuring ourselves against classical chess. So that to talk that there has been a lot of talk also from FIDE side, like in the last about that we want a down talk. We are not doing that. We like classical chess. Magnus still plays a lot of classical chess, also Blitz and Rabbit. But it's basically what we want to do. We want to create interest from other people than the chess community, so to speak, about that. So maybe to say that, like, there's the interest from the outside, from the non-chess community in classical chess is zero, right? So we want to be more than zero. So that's one thing. So we want to, of course, be better than classical chess in the non-chess market. Now, within the chess market, the interest in classical chess is like 100, and in us is maybe 1 or whatever. So yeah. So in terms of maybe we want to have like a significant market share of the interest of the chess community. Where it is, I don't know. It's a 10%, 20%, 50%. Definitely, we are not measuring us in terms of trying to overtake any organization or anybody within the classical world, because we are not thinking in these terms. We are basically thinking, like, again, I try to explain the difference always with like Formula One. If you go to a Formula One race, there are like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are there. I would guess most of them are not active race drivers, right? So, and when you go to classical chess tournaments, most of the people are actually active chess players. So we want to change this around, that we want to attract people here that maybe they don't even know the rules, because people in Formula One, they don't know how to drive a race car. Of course, they don't drive one. They don't know how to drive one. They have no idea. And they don't care. Maybe they even don't know the names of the drivers, because they just think it's a cool thing, and this guy in the red dress from Ferrari looks cool or whatever, So this is kind of, our goal is more a show aspect. Of course, on the highest level, I mean, we're talking about, we have here on site, this is a privilege. This is why I said in the beginning, I'm so incredibly proud. We have the best chess players of the world here. And so it's going to be an extreme top sports. But we, Thomas and I, are concentrating on the show aspect, trying to make it accessible, trying to make it exciting, interesting, still by not compromising the sports aspect of it. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. But that's also a step up. If you want to attract mainstream media, if you talk to them, they say, okay, their views and their ideas is of course fixed in the existing world. So they only know, when you talk about chess, they only think of what they see right now. So you first have to show with streamers and so on to what you are doing. Then one thing is, the streamer market will always just going to be bigger. Sometimes in some cases maybe overtake the traditional media, so to speak. But in addition, you will get interest from the traditional media to also be broadcasted. Yeah. Do we have a deal with them? No. Yeah. Then okay. So we have a specific first deal that we can announce now. So.
I mean, we'll have, for example, this time DAZN will be showing all the games as well on their streaming service, which is a big one because they will be showing it globally. And in general, I think a lot of the chess content creators and chess streamers, right? So if you look at what Levi is doing, or the Botte sisters are doing, or Anna are doing, they actually manage to get new people in that aren't, purely interested in chess, but they're also, obviously they have an interest and maybe they play, but they do a really good job. And so obviously that's the first step for us. And if you look at like consumption behavior, right, it's like traditional media obviously is still important, but the core target audience that watches chess is between 18 and 30. And a lot of these like young people, they watch shorts on TikTok or on Instagram Reels, or they watch Twitch because they want to interact, they want to ask questions, they want to be involved. And that's like a very unique feature of these like digital platforms. And so we really want to lean into that. And I think if you look at chess, it's actually gotten really big during the pandemic when a lot of these new formats came along, and it hasn't been on traditional television. And so we really want to focus on that and make sure like we have a broadcast team that comes from esports, from gaming, which is huge on Twitch. And we really want to bring a lot into that and make sure that the community feels involved in what we're doing, and can interact with the product.
And we already opened the market completely, because in the last weeks, we had the Financial Times, the Economist, and Wall Street Journal, and also other media. They never made anything about chess. And so it's completely opened about the tour with Freestyle Chess. They opened the chess market completely, and we have also already a lot of requests from other media, from television teams, and so DAZN is just the first begin. Any more questions? Because the games are starting soon. We have to prepare something for this. Otherwise, I would close the press conference now. Thank you very much for the deep insights, Jan-Henrik and Thomas and Magnus as well. And I hope you can enjoy our tournament. And it will be very exciting. I'm thrilled already. And now we have the trailer for the whole tour. Enjoy.
Let the legend begin. An unforgettable chess tournament in a class of its own at 5 exclusive locations around the world.
It's going to be a traveling circus around the globe with the best chess players of the world in the most exciting places, in the most beautiful cities of the world.
Together with the greatest of all time, Magnus Carlsen.
It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have 5 amazing tournaments with the best players in the world in the format that I want to play. Cannot get much better than that.
I'm really looking forward to the tour very much. I think it'll be exciting, it'll be very new.
The main series begins on the picturesque Baltic coast at the luxurious WEISSENHAUS Resort. A week full of freestyle action, intense matches, and vibrant chess competition awaits.
I think for the fans as well, they will see a different kind of game where it really is combat from move 1. This is so much better than classical tournaments.
Feeling the pressure, we can see it on his face on the camera.
Wow, these youngsters are fearless.
What a dramatic fight this was. Just amazing.
The Freestyle Chess Grand Slam Tour 2025 at the luxurious WEISSENHAUS Resort. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much. The games begin.
Yes,
Das haben wir jetzt nicht drauf gemacht. Kannst du den Teil, wie du den kleinen